For those of you who missed class or for those of you who need a recap, let's start at the beginning. Go into Adobe Illustrator. Let's set up our file. New file. Let's work in inches. And I'm going to want to work pretty big. 11 by 17. Now, my model, my Tinkerbell model, is a vertical model. So I'm doing 11 by 17. If your piece is more horizontal, you're going to want to do yours horizontal. But I'd like you to work fairly large. And let's work in RGB because your model photograph is in RGB. So we'll keep it apples to apples. And let's keep our PPI high for now. If your file becomes so large that it's ungovernable, we'll talk about lowering this number. But for now, we want our gradients to be nice and smooth. So this is the number. We'll hit create. And, oh, a minute. Here, I'm gonna make mine the other way around. So you can do that in document setup. All right. So here we are. And I am going to place my scan. Let me go to desktop, Tinkerbell, there's the scan. Now, this is the important part. You want to bring her in as a template. And I'm going to bring her in as a link. And what this means is the file and the scan have to stay together. I can't break that link. So if I move the Adobe Illustrator file, I have to remember to take the scan with me. This will make the starting over. This will make the file slightly smaller than if I embedded it, which if I don't link this, press this button, the scan embeds itself into the file. Then I can take it where I want and not worry, take the file where I want, not worry about the scan, but these files are going to get big fast. So link, template, very important, place. All right, now here she is. Now she's locked down. So I'm going to go to my layers. Where are my layers? L for layers. Now you can see she's a template. I'm going to unlock her and I'm going to double click on the little icon. So this template button is what you want. If you bring the scan in and forget, you can just edit right in the layer. Make sure this button is clicked on and make sure this button is clicked off. All right, and she's unlocked. Finger on the shift key. Oops, sorry. Finger on the shift key. I want her nice and big so that I can see everything. I'll lock her down. Now she's my template. This is going to be my drawing layer. You are going to have a layer for every discrete shape. Every closed path gets its own layer. Trust me on this one. You're going to want to do this. All right. And now you can get started. Remember to lock this down. Don't draw on the template layer. Now, why did we make her into a template layer? We made her into a template. And you can see that my scan is actually a little low res. But I did this because, so I'm working in regular mode. I'm going to swap to preview mode, Command Y. So I'm in keyline mode right now. See that? And I'm going to do most of my drawing in keyline mode. And a lot of my color sampling in keyline mode because I have to sample the scan. I need to see through the drawing to get to the scan. All right, so you're going to trace out your shapes this way. You're going to put one discrete shape, each shape on its own layer. So the dress, the arm, this little finger, her body, her face, her legs, it's all going, they're all going on their own layers. You got to trust me on this one. You're going to need to do this way. It's going to be super, super helpful. Something else that you can do is if you start working on a layer, here, let me make a new layer and I'll trace her ear. Now, layers have colors assigned to them. And so it might be that if the color that it's assigned to your layer, if you can't read it, if you can't see it, double click on this layer. See how it's green? Go ahead and make it black. You can assign black. You can assign colors to the layers. So now it's a black layer. Now I can see a little bit more what I'm doing. If you're working in the gradient mesh mode, in the gradient mesh tool, and as well the freeform gradient actually, make sure these shapes really, really follow. So I'm going to need another point. Let me go get my add anchor point tool. And I'm going to put my finger on the command tool, and that's going to give me the last tool I used before the anchor point tool, which is the direct selection tool. I'm toggling back and forth. My point is, work clean and be absolutely as pinpoint accurate to the scan as you can. That it's going to matter later. You want to start as you mean to go on. All right, but start tracing out shapes and start labeling them. This is her right ear. I mean, I suppose I could put both ears on their own layers, but this is how you want the file set up. All right, this is the homework. Get your file set up and start tracing out. Get as many layers traced out before class on Wednesday as you can. All right.